Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 16 of Adventure Planes. Today guys, it's quite a sad episode because today this is the last building episode. We're gonna be placing the last two rides today. It's gonna be very sad. Yeah, so this series has been really fun. I'm really sad that it's coming to an end. Next episode we'll be doing the park tour, so do come along and join me for that next week. But this week we're going to be continuing with Red Rock Motors. So we're going to be building this building today. We're going to be placing some cars down, doing the overall theming of the ride, finishing it off, because they've just come out of the first building, which is the kind of steam area where all the steams are there, and we've got items and stuff there. Today we're going to be building the actual Red Rock Motors workshop. Now, I have been asked, have you started the next series? I have. There was a teaser in Discord. There's the music soundtrack. But yeah. So this next series is recording now. And I'm sad this one's coming to an end because this one was so fun. But the next series, don't worry guys, you won't be disappointed. It's being really fun so far for me. Yeah, I'm not giving any clues away yet. But if you want to join Discord, there's a soundtrack that might give it away. Which I have given to everyone to guess. And early access to the episodes. If you guess it. If no one guesses it, then I will just see if I can make it, more easier. We have had a few guesses so far. People have had their guesses, but it can change. Right, so as you can see, I'm just creating like these kind of, I kind of guess they're kind of like my roads. That's what I was going for. I was going for little roads around the whole area, and they're like dirt tracks because it's Red Rock Falls, it's western, it's kind of outback as well. So they're not gonna have proper roads that well. So here, this is the Red Rock Motors company building, which we're building now, which is kind of like the workshop, if you like. And then it's also got kind of a house area built onto it. So I tried to make it kind of less rectangular because I think someone was saying your build's a bit too rectangular. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take on the advice. But yeah, I think it actually did look quite good in the end. It looked quite decent, quite good. But it changes throughout the whole of the build because it's got to change and we've got to fix it up. Because some things don't work, some things work, and it changes. But that's the whole idea. It's kind of trial and error, what works, what doesn't work. But yeah, this series is sadly coming to an end, and today we'll be finishing off Red Rock Motors, this track ride here, and we will be building another flat ride, which is going to be called Balloon School. Now you're probably wondering what's the flat ride. It's pretty obvious what the flat ride is, guys. But yeah, we'll be building that at the end of this episode, and then we'll be saying goodbye to Adventure Planes' next episode when we have the park tour, which I'll be doing. So do stick around for that next week. So now I'm just doing some windows, just making sure the windows are all nice, neat and tidy, because I wanted a few windows, because these are like workshop windows. They are see-through, so I did have to put them back a bit, but they have like a tint on them, so you can kind of see in, but you can't really see in at the same time. So then I went with this really nice fairy tale sign, motor workshop code. There we go. So I just did that. Just made up the name. Didn't really, I have plans of what to do, but I never really. I have plans to what to do, but I don't really follow them most of the time. I'm just like, yep, I'm doing this. I can't bother to do the plan, because I just think I have a better idea, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, we'll stick with that idea. But yeah, today's going to be quite a long episode because, it's the last building episode, which is very sad. But, we've got to live with it, guys. We've got to live with it. So, here, I'm just doing the roof now. This roof was pretty basic, pretty simple. And we're also adding a balcony, where you can see that kind of sticking out bit where the roof doesn't quite go round. Here now, that little bit that's sticking out. I'm going to be putting a balcony in there, which I think is going to be quite interesting. So there we go. There's the balcony. It was a bit of a nightmare actually, doing the balcony with the roofing and everything, but it did work out in the end. So then I just used some of these pieces, and I said the balcony did look a bit weird, and it was kind of sticking out as well. It was just a bit weird, the balcony, the whole thing. So in the end, I just covered it in all the deck because I thought, you know, get rid of that other deck, get rid of the other wooden plank thing, just have the deck because otherwise it looks a bit weird. And I kind of just put that in there because it kind of worked. It was a bit of a hit and miss, this one, but it did work out. I think I am actually quite pleased with how it worked out. So Adventure Planes next week will be going on the workshop. Maybe not this week. It'll be going on the workshop next week. Yeah, it'll be going on the workshop next week because of the park tour. Yeah. So yeah, you can download it, you can rip it to pieces, you can change it. I honestly don't care what you do with it. But yeah, you can download it starting from next week, which will be very fun. You guys can rip it up, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. You can smash it to pieces. You can destroy every ride and only have like one ride, or you can make a massive coaster that yeah, you know what I mean. So then we had this little, because how are they going to get up to the balcony? So we have to do this little hatch here. So I did this little hatch using the trapdoor because I hardly ever used the trapdoor. So I was like, let's use the trapdoor. So I used the trapdoor. Then I had the nightmare of, annoyingly, the benches that I wanted to put were path benches, so you have to put a path up there. So I had to put a path elevated up in the air to put this bench here, which is kind of annoying, but it did actually work in the end. And then I kind of put these other benches that kind of look like driftwood. I don't know why I did that. They kind of like look like wood and stuff, which they work quite well. Then it was the top of the roof that needed to be done. Just did that because simple. It was a simple building. It really was. Yeah, and I was quite sad at this point because this was the second last ride we were gonna finish, and then it was all over, which was very sad. But this area of the park's kind of more like the tropical area because we're going in with foliage now. This is more the civilized area. That's kind of the more tropical area in Adventure Planes. We've kind of come out of the desert area now, and then the next ride is kind of more of the town area, more of a kind of carnival area ride. But it's still part of the Adventure Planes theme. I think someone was saying to me last week, one of the premieres was saying, but the theme doesn't really change. No, it actually does, because when we get to the end of the series, I'll show you when we're doing the park tour that we do have quite a clear theme change, because we go from the desert area at the front of the park to then the canyon area as you come down the right end of the park, down the back of Sun Swings, and then you come around to Red Rock Falls Canyon, Red Rock Falls, and then you come back to this bit of the park. You go straight down, left, and you come to the more tropical area of the park, and then once you go back down that bridge, you come back to the desert area again. So it goes in like a nice little loop, which I think works. I didn't really want to break it up with like trains or like transport vehicles and stuff, because I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to have like you have to walk around it. It's quite an old fashioned way of walking around the park. There's not really any transport or anything to do, but I thought that worked. So here we go now. So this is my attempt at building a workshop. Basically had to make everything steamy, make it all like metally, have like cans and stuff. And then I decided with this ingenious idea, which was like, wow, to make a car stand, to make it seem like the workshop workers are working on a car, to fix it, when they elevate it in the sky and then they work underneath and just fix all the the bits and bobs. Like if a rat's chewed one of the cables or something, they can just fix that, or like one of the cogs is loose or something, I don't know, but they can fix the car. You'll see what I mean in a minute if you're confused. So then it was just a time of copying, pasting the car and putting it back into that area. But the nightmare was it wouldn't select all the tyres, which is very, very, very annoying. So yeah, you'll see now. So it's on like a lift. It's on like a wooden lift, and the car's being lifted up to this lift, and then the workmen are kind of working underneath. I didn't really want to put any animatronics because, you know, they've kind of left it because you're kind of touring through it. They're not really working on it at the moment because you're touring through it. But, you know, I could have had it, you know, animatronics in there. And when the thing does come out, when this park does come out on the workshop, feel free to put any animatronics in, any more set pieces you want. I honestly don't mind. So then it was just the little flooring we had to do. And I like this because it actually covers up the original track and just has that little you know, rail for the track. So then it was foliage time. We did loads and loads of foliage, crazy amount of foliage we did. You know, I was going mad, it was crazy with foliage. So I just did the track there, the path, you know, the paint tool there to make the road kind of was messed up, which was a bit annoying, but you know, it worked. But I thought this looked really good in the end. I actually enjoy working with paint tool quite a bit, and I thought this one looked actually quite decent. When we come to the cinematics at the end, you guys will see it's absolutely insane what happens. But I'll also be showing you guys an on-ride POV of Red Rock Motors, and we'll be showing you some cinematics at the end of the ride, the other ride, the balloon school ride, which we'll be adding in a couple of minutes. But yeah, trees, foliage, because we hadn't really done lots of bushes and foliage and loads of foliage everywhere. You know, we hadn't done it for many of the episodes. And I thought, you know, we've got to do some of the foliage. We've got to have the scene change from, you know, the desert, like everything's dying, kind of, you know, climate to this kind of more tropical, you know. Oh, there's a tree there. Oh, it's green. Oh, it's not yellow. Oh, it's green. It's not dying. There's not like coyotes eating it. I wanted this to be like more homely and more, you know, kind of more welcoming, more British. There we go. More British. You know, it does give me quite a few British vibes when you look at this, guys. This build. You know, when you look at it finished, it does look quite British. It looks like you'd find it in Alton Towers, or maybe even Thorpe Park, or even Lego. But you know, it does work quite well. I do think it does work quite well. We had a bit of a nightmare though. The trees were kind of, you know, going through the building, but I did fix it in the end. I did fix it, and then I just incorporated all the bush from the hedgerow at the back of the park around the fence to work with the actual flow of behind with the trees. And then I just placed loads of cars around the track on the little road thing. And then here I wanted to have like a visa point with like a few iron like steam stuff. The car kind of got messed up with its tires again. So then I put like loads of like nice trees along here, made sure it was like looking really good. You know, I just wanted to make this ride look really, like, not so much loads and loads of like scenery items, but loads and loads of trees and everything. I wanted to really, like, you know, make that village feel of the park, make it really like homely and villagey. That's not even a word, but who cares? And then I could put these caravans in here, really nice caravans. I think they look quite nice. You know, they could be like, you know, people might stay in them. You know, I think they're quite nice little caravans. I do really like the whole flow of them. I think they work really well with the park, you know. And then I put some more of the wagons around, like people have stopped here just in their wagons just to chill, you know, in the countryside of Adventure Plains, you know, in the Western Park. So, you know, so then I put loads of these like tropical ferns around just to make it feel more tropically, and put some more like colourful bushes in between just to make it have a bit more colour than green, because green, yeah, green's a bit too much for me, if you have way too much green. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. Look at it, it's brilliant. I love it. I actually think it looks fantastic. How it came together and how it all flows really nicely and works really well. And then I just put a telephone box there because, you know, why not? I think it really works well. And then we had this flower pot thing across the balcony, because, you know, people in Britain as well, people everywhere, to be honest, have like flower pots on like ledges and stuff. under windows. You'll get them in hotels, you know, you'll get them everywhere. So I did do a little bit of research to see, you know, where I could, you know, place them and see where. So then I said, you know, steam, you know, just put this steam kind of flow here, because I like to make it feel more steamy. Put a visa point there just so people can, you know, when they're in the park, they can take photos with it. You know, I thought that was quite a nice little, you know, memorial point for people to spend their visit at. So we are just going to finish up now here with the sign. We're going to put Red Rock Motors. We're going to have a little sign here because we need a sign. That would be ideal. So I just put Red Rock Motors, and it turns out I only needed it in two, which was brilliant. The queue line, I thought, you know, it was themed well. I think this really turned out really well. You'll see on the ride POV in a minute how good it looks. But anyway, there is Red Rock Motors finished, and now we're going on to our balloon school ride. This is sadly the last ever flat ride I will place in Adventure Plains. Oh my gosh, it brings tears to my eyes. Guys, we've finished this park. This is the last ride, the last attraction, the last everything in the park. Literally the last thing. The last ride we'll be putting in this park, which is really sad, but you know, Adventure Plains, it's had its go on the YouTube channel, it's had its turn, and now it's time for something new. But I have really enjoyed this series. I hope you guys have as well. It's been a brilliant series, you know, it's been really nice, really fun. And I really hope to see you guys next time when we have another series, which will be coming up in the next month or so. Next couple of weeks, so do stay tuned and do hit that subscribe button because I really do appreciate it. It really does help me out making content for you guys and making content for happiness and for fun, because it's just so fun. Planker. If you don't have Planker and you are a theme park fan, get Planker. Whatever console you play on, you can get it on. You can get Planet Coaster Console Edition. You can get Planet Coaster PC. You know. So then I did some trees here, and we have this weird path thing there. So in a minute I'm going to place a shop there, which will be the last ever shop we place, which I'm placing now. We're going to be placing some shops and some staff buildings, and you can see there's guests in the park now. I decided, you know, I want to let some people in as we just finish up this park. Because, you know, we need some guests, and I just wanted to see how crowd control worked with the areas around here, because some of the paths are quite tight. You can see that little tunnel there in the middle of the screen there a minute ago. That was kind of like a tunnel just to go into the other area of the park. You know, I think someone said that, you know, we should have a boat ride go through there. It's a good idea, but I don't really think it's necessary. I kind of like the idea of them walking through. I just like, you know, people walking around. I don't really want it to do like a boat ride around. You know, I could have done one, but you know, I think it would have just ruined the whole foliage experience there is, the package of foliage there is. So, you know, that's my answer to that. So here we had the roof. This is the last roof we do in the whole of the park. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. No. But yeah, so yeah, this is the last shop. Red Rocks Road Snacks. There we go. Road Snacks. Get it? Yeah. I thought it was quite catchy. So, then we have this balloon school here, which the theming, guys, it's called Balloon School. Can you guess what the theme is? The theme is obviously balloons. So basically I made these wonderful bright coloured arches that use the American flag colours, because why not? And I thought, you know, because it just fit quite well, I just like the balloon colours, so I just did loads of these arches around the whole of the ride, then filled it in with foliage, and that just pretty much worked. You know, just put like, you know, arches around, kind of like light arches but balloon style. So I just put loads of these arches all around the ride, and I thought it looked actually quite decorative, quite interesting, quite, you know, unique. I haven't seen someone do it before, so I thought, you know, it looks quite good, and it looks quite decent. But you know, the balloons, you know, the balloons just give so much more, you know. And I thought we needed colour, and it just, you know, it just looks actually really nice when you look at it. people might argue with me, oh, it looks terrible, what have you done to your park? No, I think it actually looks quite decent. In a way of doing this as the last ride, I actually think it looks quite decent. Then I tried to write the sign on a balloon, then I decided, nah, this is not gonna work. So then I tried to write it on the balloons, actual, the arch, and we had to change the sign a couple of times because they didn't really fit and work that well. So in the end we came with a road sign. We got a road sign there, and then we just changed it up. Changed the colour a bit, added balloon school in it. I thought it actually turned out really well in the end. I thought it looked really good. I went with the red and blue cough cough, my logo colours. I went with those colours. I guess also the balloon colours are my logo colours as well, so because this ride does actually have quite a special place in my heart. God, if I did that intentionally. So yeah, this ride, I've always grown up with this ride, and it's just such a nice ride. I really do like these rides when you go to a fun fair or a theme park. These rides are really nice. Then I realised I'd forgotten the queue line again. I've just realised that when I did the voiceover. And I don't actually realise it when I'm building. Normally I realise it when I'm doing the voiceover, and I go back and change it. But don't worry, I'm sure I didn't forget it on here. I forgot it on the other ride. I forgot it on Desert Palms as well. But as you can see, if you can just see that shot there, guys, you can see the actual beauty of the ride. Look how much foliage there are. It looks stunning. I just think this whole park's looking beautiful now. It's looking fantastic, and then I wanted to put a few of these American balloons around it, because, why not? And, the Planet Coaster happens to have them, so, we may as well have some balloons. Because it's balloon school, why not? You can see the exit just sitting there neglected with no path to it. There we go. And this is where I decided to do the exit. I finally did it. Whoa, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Whoa. The exit, it's there now. That is the final ride, and here is a ride POV of Red Rock Motors. I'll see you next week for the park tour. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.